When you write a book, it is your job to sell it and market it. You are the author and you need to talk about it. It is that simple. I want to walk you through the Bullseye technique to sell more books. Okay, we've helped hundreds of people write, publish, launch, and market nonfiction books to grow their business. And this is something that will really help you sell more books and also help you build the business on the back end of this book. Now, here are some simple truths here, though. If you don't talk about your book, no one will. If you don't believe your book is worthy enough to be talked about, where you are willing to talk about it frequently, why should anybody else actually care? And one of my favorite things that I always tell people is, no matter how good your book is, you can write the greatest book in the world, but if nobody hears about your book, they will never read it, they will never buy it, and they will never work with you. It's time to stop being the best kept secret, all right? So let's change all this. Let's get your book sold, and let's show you ways that will feel good to do it. Myth. Big myth, though. When you launch a book, you're done. People just automatically find it. Fact. When you write a book, people will support you if you let them know how to. Myth. Post once about your book launch and sales roll in and your book takes off. Fact. Reaching out directly is a guaranteed way to drive sales early on. Now, let's talk about this bullseye technique. We've all seen a bullseye, right? Throw darts, bullseye, smack dab in the middle. You got the bullseye and you got it going inward to outward. You got it small to big, less likely to more likely. In this case, we're going to use the bullseye technique to really break down who you need to reach out to sell more books, how you need to reach out to them, and then what are those things that you can do. So when we look at the bullseye, okay, we're going to look at the bullseye, the direct middle. That is going to be, when you release a book, your middle is going to be your friends and family. Now, these are the people that will do anything for you. These are the people that you can directly ask them to buy your book, leave a review, introduce you to somebody, buy 10 copies of your books. These are your ride or dies. These are the people that will support you. Now, what's great about these people is that I have found that if you tell them what you want them to do, when you want them to do it, you will have a much, much, much higher success rate than if you just tell them once or hope that they will do it on their own. But that being said, friends and family, this is where you always want to start, because your friends and family are often the people who believe in you. They're the people that want to see you succeed, and they're the people that will support you no matter what. This is a great place to start, and this is a great way to start generating book sales and start getting introduced to outside people. Your next layer of the bullseye is what I call the relevant current people, okay? These are the people that are relevant in your life today. These are your mastermind friends. These are the people you're in coaching programs with. These are the people that you're playing tennis with weekly. These are your golf buddies. These are the people that you are spending times. These are people in your mommy and me classes. These are people that go to your networking meetups in your same industry. These are the current people you're talking to on a regular basis. Now, this group of people, they have you top of mind. And when you are top of mind, it becomes more easily to talk about you. So because you're top of mind, they're thinking about you more, you're getting along really well, they want to support you, right? Think about people that are closest to you right now, okay? In this season of your life, you would likely help them out if they launched a book. Because why? Because they're relevant to you now. They're top of mind for you now. I'll give you a personal example. For me, in my mastermind, when I joined a mastermind 3 years ago, there were people in there that if they launched something, I would go all in and support them. Why? Because I was getting to know them. They were current in my life and they were great people. But over the last 3 years, our lives have changed. They've gone on to do different things. We're not in the same mastermind anymore. They're not as top of mind for me or for them. So I'm not always thinking about how I can promote them and support them. Will I support them? Of course. But I'm not always thinking about how I can right off the bat. So that's why relevant current people in your life is that second group. And you can ask these people, again, directly. You can ask if they know other people who might be interested in, especially if you are doing different hobbies or you're in a mastermind group. A lot of times those people might have other people in mind that would be perfect for what your book is all about, even if they are not. But the really cool thing about book sales is that a book sale, there is no good or bad book sale. There is book sale or no book sale. So if you want to focus on the metric of book sales, it doesn't matter who's buying your book at first glance, because the sale is still a sale, whether they're a qualified buyer, an interested lead, a client, or they're just somebody who found your book and they were interested in the topic. Okay? Down the road, you're going to want to eventually have statistics on, are you giving books? Are you selling books to the right people who could eventually become clients? But we're trying to sell more books right now. The third group is the clients and alumni. So you have the inner circle, friends and family. You have the relevant current people. And now we have the friends and family. Now we have the clients and alumni. Friends and family, relevant current people, and then you have your clients and the alumni. These are all of the people that have already paid you to work with them. These are people that are likely fans of your work and will want to promote you, want to succeed. I know that if I release a new book, I can go to my existing clients, I can go to alumni of my programs, I can go to past customers, I can go to people that have bought from me before, and I can ask them to get my book and to share it. Now, they're not always necessarily going to be thinking about me anymore if they're an alumni and they've moved on, but they know that I helped them out at one point and they might be willing to support me on this next adventure. Okay, I think about it a lot when it comes to clients, alumni, or even current and positive work colleagues. Okay, so for example, we have a friend, she released a book. She's a lawyer. She released a book and she was able to tap into some of her current lawyer friends. They're not clients, but they're current lawyer friends in her industry who know her, like her work, and want to support her. Okay, so these are your clients, your alumni. These are the people that have already paid you, have already worked with you. They believe in you and they want you to help get more sales. Okay, because you've impacted their life and they know how legit you really are. The next group is we get into acquaintances. This is where you get your leads, people that have expressed interest in some capacity, but maybe you don't know them. This is old colleagues, or maybe this is people that you used to talk to a bunch that you don't anymore, but you're still friends. Maybe it's your high school friends, your college friends, people that you grew up with kids together, but then they moved. People that aren't always top of mind, people that you haven't talked to in a while, but that would recognize your name, that would maybe want to support you. And these are your acquaintances. And so for these people, instead of being as direct as you would with your first couple of groups, this is where you want to open the door for interest, okay? Because these people are the people that might be interested in what you're doing. They're interested in either you or what you're doing, and they might be interested in your book topic. So an example of this, I get ready to release my book, Big Idea to Bestseller. Well, there are people that I haven't talked to in a long time, maybe leads from my other business when I was doing just regular business coaching, help people scale their first 6 figures. I reached out to some of them and said, hey, I just wrote my book, Big Idea to Bestseller. I know that you had expressed interest in wanting to grow a business. Well, this book talks about how to write a book to grow your business. If you're interested, you could check it out. So now what you're focusing more is, instead of that direct ask for that inner circle group, you're starting to focus on that interest-based ask of invitation, okay? This is really, really powerful stuff. And then you have your fifth and outer ring of the Bullseye technique. These are all new people. These are people that you do not know yet as of today, okay? These are friends of friends. These are random followers. These are people who newly discover you because your book comes out. These are people who need to see more of you before they can make an opinion of whether they're going to buy your book, work with you, invest with you, buy your products, or whatever. And so your book for new people can be the entry point for them into your world. Okay? So let's recap this. You have your inner circle, your friends and family. You have your relevant current people. You have your clients and alumni. You have your acquaintances, and then you have new people. Now, if you want to sell more books, you make a list of each one of these groupings and where you can find them. And then you go one by one and you make the proper ask. Now, there are direct asks and indirect asks. Your direct asks are, buy the book, leave a review, bring me on the podcast. Can you buy 100 for your company? Bulk orders, speaking engagements, intro me to someone who would love this. This is the direct ask. You're directly asking these people because you have a level of relationship that allows you to ask that without being too forward or without being just take, but calling in something, but asking for a favor. These are direct asks. And then you have indirect asks. This is where you more suggest or invite them to take a look at the work that you're doing, the book that you just wrote. For example, hey, I just released my book. It's on XYZ topic. Would love for you to check it out. Hey, I know we haven't talked in a few years. I hope everything's going great. Look, I just released my first book. Would love if you wanted to support me on it. Right? You're inviting them to take a look. You're updating them more than you're telling them to buy it. Okay? Because some of these indirect asks will be a little bit random. You haven't talked to someone in a while. And you don't want to make it just seem like, hey, I wrote my book, buy my book. It's, hey, I want to invite you to check out my new book. I thought of you. I was going through my contacts. Your name popped up. It's been 5 years. Hope you're really well. I just wrote my first book. I'd love for you to check it out. I know we used to have a lot of fun way back when. Or indirect ask. Hey, I know you've expressed interest in XYZ. I actually just wrote a book on it. Here's the link. It's 99 cents for the first week. This is how you can be very direct with the right people, but also have indirect asks that could lead to people checking it out, people referring you. And what I have found across the board of running 4 best-selling launches myself and helping hundreds of people do the same thing is that if you don't ask, the answer is always no. But if you do ask, you will be surprised to see how much support you can actually get from the people that you already know. So that's how you're going to use the Bullseye technique to sell more books. That's how you're going to use the Bullseye technique to land more gigs, to reconnect with people. That is the Bullseye technique. That's how you're going to sell more books. That's how you're going to use the book to grow a thriving business on the back end and help a ton of people in the process. Now, look, if you would like to receive my step-by-step instructions on how to actually write the book, how to actually edit the book, how to publish the book, how to actually launch the book, so that then you can use the Bullseye technique, I'll give you a free copy of my book, Big Idea to Bestseller. This is our step-by-step guide. It goes step-by-step on how to do every single thing in the process from coming up with the idea all the way to launching it successfully. And I want to give you a free copy of that. So if you want that, you can go to bigidea2bestseller.com/free-book. You can grab a paperback copy of that, just cover the shipping, and we'll mail it directly to your doorstep. That's what I got for you today. The Bullseye technique is in full effect. Let's sell more books, let's change more lives, and let's go.